Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.
Hi, today in my bench I have this Panasonic multi-stack hi-fi system. Now this unit came to me by a customer of mine and it belongs to his dad. The other day he came by and told me that his father amplifier has been stopped working and asked me to take a look at it. So when he brought it in, he told me that his father was having problems in one of the speaker output of the amplifier, and he took it to a repair shop and it sat in that repair shop for 3 or maybe 4 months without the technician in that repair shop was able to repair it. So I understand from that phrase that this unit has been tampered with. So yeah. Now in order I could repair it, I will do a thorough examination of the amplifier unit, test it, see what's wrong with it, and see how I'm going to fix it. So let's get started. Now the first step in the testing process is testing the physical condition of each one of these units individually. In here we have the compact disc player, and the model number of this unit, it is the SU-CH9. We can see that all of the buttons, they seems okay, and none of them it is broken. Beneath it we have the stereo cassette deck, and the model number of this unit, it is the RS-CH9. We can see that in the mechanic door, the controls of this mechanic buttons, or the buttons of this mechanic, they are built into the mechanic door. So yeah. All of the buttons seems okay, and none of them it appears to be broken. So yeah. And the same thing it is in the other tape deck door. So yeah. Now if I push the eject button, we can see that the tape door in this mechanic, it opens in the correct way. And we can see that there is a lot of dust and dirt that it is inside of this door, and also there is a broken belt. So yeah. Let me just try to open the other mechanic door, or the other tape door, and also this mechanic tape door, it opens in the correct way, and we can see that there is a lot of dust and dirt that it is inside of it as well. So yeah. So in order I could repair these, there is a lot of work needed to be done. So yeah. Now taking a look at this unit in here, this unit, it is a stereo synthesizer tuner, and it has the model number of ST-CH9. So yeah. Also all of the buttons, they seems okay, and none of them it is broken. But we can see that there is a lot of dust and dirt that it is on this unit. So yeah. Beneath it we have the stereo integrated amplifier, and the model number of this unit, it is the SU-CH9. So yeah. And it has a built-in equalizer. So yeah. All of the buttons in the amplifier, they seems okay, and none of them it appears to be broken. So yeah. So the next step is to remove all of these units, set them aside, and take a look at the amplifier unit and see the condition of this unit. So here is the amplifier unit, and as we can see, the unit itself, or the front control, it looks solid and it is not broken. That is a really good sign. If we turn the unit around to its back, we can see that the screws, they has been tampered with, and these are not the original screws for this model. So yeah. Now if we turn the unit around, we can see that also the screws in the back, they are not the original screws, but there is no broken connectors, and the fan in this unit, it seems okay. Also the speaker jack, or the speaker terminals, they seems okay and they are not broken. So yeah. Now this unit, it has a surround output. So yeah. Now the next step is to remove all of these screws, remove the cover, and we will take a look inside of this unit. So here's the cover has been removed, and here is the screws that hold the cover to the body of the unit. And as we saw earlier, some of the screws, they don't belong into this model. And also after I remove them, we can see that some of the screws, it has a different type. So yeah. Now here is the inside of the unit, and we can see that there is a lot of dust and dirt that it is accumulated inside of it. And also if we examine the heatsink, we can see that some of the fins of the heatsink, it is all bent up, and one of the screws that hold the heatsink into the body of the unit, it is missing. Now next to the heatsink, or near the heatsink, we can see that some of the parts, they has been replaced. And if we examine this part over here, and this is by the way a resistor, we can see that this resistor, it is burned up. So yeah. Now if we take a look at the bridge rectifier circuitry, we can see that one of the diodes in this circuitry, it has been replaced. Now the original diodes, it has a rating of 2 amp. The replacement diode, it has a 1 amp. So yeah. Good God, this unit. I'm speechless. So yeah. We can see also this screw, it is missing. And we can see that these 2 resistors, they are also burned up. So yeah. Let me just turn the unit around and examine the amplifier circuitry. We can see the amplifier IC, it has been tampered with, and the cooling paste, it has been disturbed. I don't know if this is the original IC, amplifier IC, or not. I will examine it after I remove this board from its place. Good God! As we can see in this signal processing board, we can see that whoever repaired this unit, he budge in this IC. This is the DIP IC, and the original IC, we can see that it is an SMD one. So yeah. What an awful way and a crude way to install an IC and replace an IC. So yeah. Good God. Look at the main fuse. Someone bridged the main fuse or jumped the main fuse with this jumper wire. So, wow. What an idiot. Whoever tried to repair this unit, he is the most idiot person that I ever encountered or I ever seen. So yeah, this unit needed a lot of work in order so I can repair it correctly, and a lot of parts needed to be replaced. So yeah, wow. Now the next step is I'm going to disassemble all of the units, all of the parts of the unit, remove this board, examine all of these chips in a separate circuit, examine the IC, replace it if necessary, and test the bridge rectifier circuitry, and we will go from there. So I contacted the owner and I briefed him about the situation, that his amplifier, it is in it, and he asked me to use whatever means necessary in order so I can repair it correctly. So I went ahead and removed this board in order so I can see what I'm dealing with and see what the condition of the board from the other side. And once I flip it, I saw this really awful thing that has been done to this PC board. Now if we examine or if we take a closer look at the PC board, we can see that this trace, it is peeled off, and whoever repaired it, he used a jumper. As we can see in this side that this IC, and I believe this is the surround amplifier IC, that this trace, it has been burned off. As we can see, a lot of messy soldering job and a lot of messy soldering has been done to this PC board. A lot of messy or burned and deformed traces, and also a lot of messy soldering job in the bridge rectifier circuitry. So yeah, so the repairing of this unit, it is a really hard task to achieve, but as long the owner he want me to proceed, I'm going to proceed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all of these components, test each one of these components, and especially in the regulator circuitry, replace the burned component, and we hope for the best. So here is the main board has been completely repaired, and I replaced all of the burned component with the brand new ones. Now the first step in the repairing process, it was testing the amplifier IC in order so I can see if it is working correctly or not. Now here is the original IC, and I tested it using a test circuit. Now the test shows that the IC itself, it is working, but one of the channels inside of it, it wasn't producing a very clear signal. So yeah. So what I did, I searched my inventory in order so I can see if I have a suitable replacement. And lucky for me, I found an original one that I bought it years ago. So I install it immediately. Also, I replaced all of the component in the regulator circuitry except for the power transistors because they tested good. All of the resistors, they has been replaced, as we can see, and all of the capacitors. Now the resistors, the original resistors, they have the size, or the original resistors, they have the size of a quarter watt and a tenth of a watt. But as we can see, I installed a half a watt instead of them. This is much better than the original ones. Also, the two capacitors that I installed them bended on the board. Because the reason why I did this, because these resistors, when the unit it is operating, they will produce heat. And we all know that capacitors and heat, they don't get along. So yeah. Now if I just turn the board around, we can see that I also replaced the diodes, all of them, the diodes in the bridge rectifier circuitry with the 3 amp type diodes. So yeah. Also, I replaced all of these components and especially these resistors. Now, if I just zoom in a little bit, we can see that these resistors, I assembled them. Now, the reason why I did this, because, and let me just find the original resistance, and here we go, in the burned component pile. So yeah. Now here is the original resistors, and as we can see, the colors in them, they has been erased, and this is because of the heat. Now the original resistor value, it is 100 ohm, and the size of it, it is a quarter watt. Now in order for a resistor to get or to look like this, this means that there is a lot of current that it is passing through it, and it cannot handle it. Now I searched my inventory for a replacement, and I couldn't find a bigger type or a bigger size of this value. So what I did, I used 4 680 ohm, and I connected them in parallel, and as we can see, 680 divided by 4, it will give you 180 ohm, but the wattage will be increased, and this is a suitable size to be installed. So yeah. Now taking a look at the PCB itself, under these two resistors, we can see that the PCB, it is burned out because of the excessive heating. So yeah. Now all of these capacitors has been also replaced, because when I tested them using the capacitor meter, all of these capacitors, the value in them, they turned out to be low. So yeah. After I done all of these, we can clearly say that this board, it is now in a full working condition, and all of the component in it, they look very good. Now the next step is testing the other boards, see if there is any fault in them, and then we will assemble the entire unit. So here's the unit, has been completely reassembled, and I reinstall all of the boards into their places, and I secure them with their holding screws. Now after I did a thorough examination of the parts in this board and also in this board and in that lonely board. It turns out that the only faulty component in this board, it is the budge-in IC, and that is this IC over here. As for the front control assembly, the only faulty component is the push buttons, and that is because they are old and dirty. So yeah. Beside that, there is no faulty component in any of these boards. So now I'm going to plug in the power to this unit, and we will see what will happen. So here's the unit has been plugged in to my step down transformer, and I also connected the tuner to the amplifier unit, because you cannot power on the unit without the tuner. And the power button, as we can see, it is existed in the tuner unit. So yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to power on my step down transformer, and we will see what will happen. So here we go. There's the step down transformer has been powered on, and as we can see, the standby LED has been lit up. So this is a really good indication. So let me just push the power button and we will see what will happen. As we can see, the unit, once I push the power button, has been turned on, and that is a really good sign. I'm going to check some voltages, and then I will connect a speaker to the one of the speaker terminals and connect a music source, and then we will continue this video. So after I confirmed that all of the voltages are okay, I connected a speaker to one of the output of the amplifier, and I connected a music source to one of the input, and now we are going to turn on the unit and we will see what this unit it is going to sound like. So here we go. I connected the my music source to the VDAP, and as we can see, it sounds really nice. Now the speaker that I already connected, it doesn't match this amplifier, but as we can see, the sound quality, it is really good. So yeah. The sound quality in this channel, it is very good. So now let's switch to the other channel and see what does it sound like. So here's the other channel has been connected, and as we can see, it sounds really good like the other channel. So yeah, really nice. So I believe this unit, it is now fixed, and all what I have to do now is to reinstall all of the missing screws, close and secure the cover into the body of the unit, and my job here, it is done. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.